Hello, I'm Peter Anthony Holder. Thanks for joining us. While many were gearing up this holiday weekend for barbecues and watching sporting events, a group of disabled Quebecers took to the streets to protest government cuts they fear could drastically change their lives. Global's Billy Shields has more.
On a Labor Day weekend that is generally a time for rest, demonstrators took on a grueling march, heading from Parc La Fontaine to downtown to get the word out that thousands of Quebecers are tired of being ignored by the province's government.
A lot of people have very huge problem with access to home support services, which means that some people are forced to live in CHSLD.
Laurence Parent is part of the so-called 10% protesting recently announced cuts by the Quebec government for benefits that people with disabilities receive. In fact, this protest could be summed up in one word.
Autonomy. Yeah. The understanding that that people with disabilities have their own interests and their own needs.
Autonomy that disabled people have to fight for on a daily basis. Parent, for instance, says cutting pensions for services one could get at home would drive more and more Quebecers with special needs to assisted living centers. Not an ideal scenario.
People don't get to decide when they want to get up, when they want to get out, what they want to do, what they want to eat. So basically, it's like a prison for many people.
People like Daniel Lafleur. He says new financial rules would cut off his pension if his spouse has income.
The system for handicapped people, it's not fair.
In the spring, Premier Pauline Marois quietly tabled a group of budget cuts, with some affecting people with physical disabilities set to take effect next year.
Ils ont investi cet argent-là.
Given what it costs to run a home for the disabled, just close the homes and give us the money and let us have our independence. Protesters are hoping the decision is not a one-way street and defied scorching heat, not to mention obvious obstacles to inform the public. The provincial government did not respond to comment requests during a long Labor Day weekend, but demonstrators are hoping that their message gets out. A group of largely disabled people marched more than 2 kilometers to the Premier's office. Billy Shields, Global News, Montreal.